Hello everyone, your girl Samantha Gomez. Excuse my voice, I am a little under the weather. I caught a cold, but I really wanted to get this video to you guys today. So if I sound a little hoarse, it's because I'm a little sick. Today's video is my first ever story time. I am so excited to share the story with you guys. I know you're looking at the title and thinking like, damn, what are you about to tell us, Sam? And I've been meaning to share the story with you since the summertime because this is when this happened. So without further ado, let me jump right into it. To be honest with you guys, I don't even really know where to start. This story is all over the place. But I think what I'm going to start doing is telling you the people that were involved. About a year ago, we had new neighbors move in and they live right beside us. Just so happened that they are Trinidadian, so Trevon, being the social butterfly that he is, started talking to them and they got along great. I'm not going to use these guys' names because even though I want to be a bitch, and you'll understand why once I get further into the story, I am going to cover their names up by using false names. So let's call him Bill. Bill, our next door neighbor, was the man of the house. He had a wife who he lives with, and also there's 3 kids. Trevon talked to Bill on a regular basis. They would talk about cars. Trevon would help him fix his music in his vehicle because Trevon's really into systems. They would go back and forth, just, you know, drinking beers and having a good old time. So Bill is a main part of this story. Now, another part in this story is my other neighbor named Andy. Now, Andy lives about 2 homes down from us on the right-hand side, and Bill lives about 1 home away from us on the left-hand side. Andy and Trevon and myself got along great at the beginning, and Andy has been living there probably a little more than we have, about 6 months more, so they've been there for about 5 years. When we moved in, Andy again is West Indian, not from Trinidad, but Trevon again, being that social butterfly, spoke to him. We got along great. We got along with his girlfriend, but for whatever reason, I'm not going to get into detail, they had a fallout and they stopped talking. To be honest with you, there was nothing that really happened. I think it was just miscommunication, but they haven't spoken for about 2.5 years. Bill and Andy, again, being West Indian people, they talk all the time. And from the jump, I always had a bad feeling about Bill. I would talk to him when I see him outside, but something in me said something about this man's character is not right. And I always used to tell Trevon that. I always said to Trevon, be careful what you tell this man, be careful what you share with him, because I don't know, I just don't get a good vibe. I think a part of the reason why I didn't get a good vibe off of him is because I saw that he was very two-faced. I saw that he would talk to Andy and he would be friends with him, and you know, they'd be joking. And at one point in time, Andy had did some work in Bill's house. I think it was like hardwood flooring. The next day, Bill came over to Trevon and started complaining about him, how he sucks at his job, blah, 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 blah. And I'm the type of person, I sit back and I observe things. If you're able to talk to me about somebody on the street, who's to say that you're not gonna talk to them about me? Like, it's only common sense. Anyways, let's fast forward. So again, just to recap, we talk to Bill on a regular basis, talk to the family. As for Andy and Trevon, they don't talk, but Andy will say hi to me when he sees me outside, and I still talk to his girlfriend. Very, very good. We're really good friends. So I think it was August of this year, we had a party at my house because my girl Maria, it was her birthday, and we had a few people over. We were drinking, having a good time, eating, you know, just getting on, dancing, just doing what we do. About 1 o'clock in the morning, everybody left. Or they were about to leave, and I said to Trevon, like, I'm hungry, like, let's get some McDonald's fries. And he was like, oh, Sam, why do you want McDonald's at this hour? And he was quarreling with me. He was like, I don't want to go. But being the loving husband that he is, he decided to go. So I'm walking everybody outside. I happen to turn to my right-hand side, and I see Andy's outside with his girlfriend. And it looks as though they had like some type of gathering too, because he's like drinking, and I see them talking outside. So me, being as drunk as I was like, hey, Andy, what's going on? Like, how you doing? And I'm talking loud as if it's like 3 p.m. in the afternoon. I'm talking and talking. Trevon gets in his car and he's about to drive off to McDonald's. And I just out of nowhere said to him, I guess because I was brave and alcohol was in my system, I was like, how come you don't talk to Trevon. Like, this is so stupid. You guys need to talk, blah, 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 blah. And he was like, he's the one that doesn't talk to me. He stopped talking to me. I would say hi to him and he wouldn't say hi to me. So I'm like thinking, this is probably some stupid misunderstanding. So I called Trevon. Mind you, he's already driven off to McDonald's. And I was like, come back. I need you to come back. I want to go with you. And he's like, why? I'm almost here. I'm like, please, it's important. So he turns around, he comes back, and he sees me outside talking to Andy. And he's like, what the hell's going on? Why are you outside talking to Andy and you want to pull me into it? You know me and him don't talk. Long story short, he got out of his car. I ended up saying, yo, guys, you guys need to squash this beef. It's so stupid that you guys don't talk. Like, let's resolve this. So they end up resolving their issue. They cool, they dap, we're cool. Everything's good now. So I'm like feeling nice. I'm still, you know, feeling the liquor. And I'm just like, yo, good. Neighbors, all friends. I mean, this night's going great. Until it took a turn. In conversation with Andy, he ends up saying to us, you know, I think there's other people on the street that don't really want us to be friends and we're trying to keep us apart. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And he was like, Sam, you got to be very careful. And I'm like, go on. He then tells me that Bill has been going around and telling everybody that I'm cheating on my husband. I'm like, what? Where's he getting this information from? Apparently, he watched me every single morning. I used to get up every morning at 5 a.m. I don't know if you guys remember that I was the gym girl. I used to go to the gym twice a day. 5 a.m. to do my cardio, back in the evening around 5 p.m. to do my weight training. He would watch me leave every single morning, go to the gym, and he would fabricate the story how I'm leaving every morning at 5 a.m. I'm losing all this weight, how I'm horning my man, which means in Trinidad how I'm sleeping on my husband or cheating on my husband because I've lost all this weight and I'm like going out and my husband's stupid if he thinks I'm actually going to the gym. Like, when I tell you, my ass sobered up so quickly. It was like drunk Sam to sober Sam. From 0 to 100, like real quick. I couldn't even believe what Andy was saying to me. Then he went on to saying how Bill talks about Trevon, says how Trevon steals from his job, talks about how Trevon once borrowed a drill from him and he had to come bang down our door to ask for it back. All these things are absolute lies. I just could not believe my ears. As he's telling me this, I can feel myself getting heated and I can feel myself getting mad, and I knew that I was going to confront Bill about all these lies. I didn't know when I was going to do it, but I knew I was going to do it because I'm the type of person that I'm very nice, but just don't mess with me. And especially if you're going to lie about me or make up just crazy things all based off of speculation, I don't like that. And you need to be dealt with. So I knew that I was going to be handling this situation. Whereas my husband, very nice, non-confrontational. He's the type of person that if he hears something like this, he will just step back and know how to treat you and just won't communicate with you. So a few days pass, the information is soaked in my head, what Andy had told me, and I knew again that I was going to be confronting Bill, but I didn't know when, I didn't know how, I wasn't going to plan what I was going to say. I just knew whatever was meant to come out would come out when I see him. So I would see him in passing, but I would never have the opportunity to talk to him. One day though, I was heading off to the gym, and as I exit my door, I could see him by the corner of my eye, and he was by his garage, but I happened to see that he was talking with somebody, and I was like, this is not the time. So I end up going to the gym. On my way back now, as I pull up, I see he is sitting down with his brother-in-law on the step. Now, mind you, this is the same brother-in-law he is really good friends with, talks to all the time, but as soon as this brother-in-law leaves the street, he's always turning to Trevon and talking about how his brother-in-law is an alcoholic, his brother-in-law is this, his brother-in-law is that. I was like, you know what? I really don't want to talk to him when his brother-in-law is there, so I'm going to try to get into my house really quick just so I don't have to have any form of conversation. As I get out my car door and I head up the steps to open my door, Mr. Bill decides to look at me and say, "Hello, Samantha." Immediately, I felt my blood boiling. I felt myself get red. I know I'm dark skinned, but I could feel myself getting red. I felt myself getting angry. And I look at him and I said, Bill, you picked the wrong day to say hi to me. He gave me this confused look. And rightfully so, he has no idea what I'm talking about. And I said to him, I was gonna wait until you were by yourself to talk to you, but since you said hi to me today, today's the day you're gonna get served. He again, very confused, has this questionable look in his face. And then I go on to say, so I understand that you are going around the neighborhood and talking about how I leave every morning at 5 a.m. and how I'm cheating on my husband. And at this point, I was very calm, guys. I promise you I was calm. But what really turned me from being calm Sam to pissed off Sam was the look he gave me. He literally looked at me and he went, I was so mad that he basically seemed so oblivious to what I was talking about that I snapped. I can't even tell you what I said to him. All I know is that I used every bad word in the universe. I told him how he's a woman. I told him how he should borrow some of my tampons because I thought only females gossip like that. I asked him why he's talking my business when he's 50 years old with a wife and kids. I was going off. In cussing him too, there's some information that I found out about him. For example, a year ago, last year, I believe around the winter time, he came home drunk from his brother-in-law's house, who lives about 2 blocks away, and he happened to hit our neighbor's car, a lady across the street. He didn't say anything to the lady after he hit her car, but like the following day when the lady was outside and she was asking people, have you seen what happened to my car? Like I have a dent, I don't know what's going on. He went over and he's like, oh my God, what happened to your car? Oh my gosh, I can't believe this, blah, blah, blah. Who would have done this? Then he ended up telling Trevon and he ended up telling also Andy what he did. So I knew this information. So as I'm cussing him, I'm like, don't let me be the one to go and tell that neighbor who really hit their car, blah, blah, blah. I am going off because I was so pissed off. And you know, the whole time I'm cussing him, guys, he did not say a word. He just had this blank look in his face because I know he was guilty and I know he felt it. And what can you really say when you're guilty and you're caught? He was just staring at me like, damn, I never knew this girl was this crazy. But I am. I really am. And after I was done cussing him, or I thought I was done cussing him, I was about to go inside my door. I said, you effed with the wrong neighbor. And I'm about to open my door, and just like a West Indian mom would do, I don't know like if there's a lot of West Indians watching this, but I know when I was younger and I got in trouble, my mom would be yelling at me and cussing me and cussing me. And then she'd like take like a 5-minute break randomly, like you think she's done, and then 5 minutes later she starts cussing me again. And I think that's what happened to me. I was about to go inside my door and I was like, no, I'm not done. So I close back my door and I'm like, hey, brother-in-law, don't think you're safe either. I'm like, he talks about you too. He talks about how you are an alcoholic, how your wife's gonna leave you, blah, 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 blah. And then I looked at Bill again and I said, you effed with the wrong neighbor. Watch yourself. And I went inside my house. I told Trevon what happened. He couldn't believe it. He was like, no, Sam, you really didn't do that. And I said, yes, I really did. I really did tell the man that he effed with the wrong neighbor. How dare you, one, fabricate all these stories about me? 2, do you really think that I'm leaving my house every morning, coming back sweaty because I'm sleeping with somebody else? Like, you have absolutely no evidence. And 2, it's none of your business, period. At the end of the day, my husband knows I'm faithful. I know I'm faithful. And that's all that matters. But I just couldn't believe that a grown 50-year-old man would make up these lies about us and go around spreading them around the neighborhood. It just completely boggles my mind. So we haven't spoken to him since. He will see Trevon outside. He won't say anything to Trevon. Trevon won't confront him because he already knows I dealt with the situation. And he'll see me. He won't say anything to me either. The moral of this story is mind your own damn business because you never know who you're gonna mess with and if that person is crazy like I am. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this story. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will be doing some more pregnancy updates. I am going to be having a gender reveal on January 10th, so next month, and the video should be out probably the evening of the 10th or the 11th, so stay tuned for that. And make sure to guess the gender as well. What do you think I'm having, a boy or a girl? People say I got that pregnancy glow. Personally, I don't see it. So again, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe because I'll love you forever. I'll see you guys next week on my next video. Bye.